my background in terms of grief and bereavement is I lost my dad when I was 12 years old. He was sadly murdered, and for many years I struggled to know how to talk about it and how to open up and share it with the world. And in 2018 I decided to sit down and write a letter to myself the day before I found out that my dad had died. And it was a really cathartic sort of process that I went on, because it showed me how far I'd come over the years and everything that I'd achieved sort of personally, career, since suffering that adversity at a young age. And so last month I reached out to children's bereavement charity Winston's Wish, who I'm very proud to be an ambassador for, to see if any of the young ambassadors would be interested in writing their own letters. And which is why we're speaking today.
So where did you get the idea to write a letter to your younger self? Was that something that you kind of saw as something that could help with bereavement? Did you kind of just have the idea yourself and you just thought maybe this will help me? Because I've heard of this being used, when dealing with grief, but I just wonder how this came about for you.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm honest, I hadn't heard of the idea before, and it struck me one day as to something that I could possibly do and also share with others. And if I'm honest, I wrote it and I shared it on my website, and it wasn't until I think a couple of years later I decided, I'm going to share this on Instagram, and it absolutely went crazy on there, and it had a lot of really kind feedback, and it sort of really encouraged others to think about writing their own letters. It just made me realise how much of a sort of a process it was.
How do you hope that it will help the people that you've been working with? What do you want them to get from writing these letters?
Well, I think firstly, it's about understanding how far they've come since their loved one died, and it's not something that you would normally think to do, and that's what the young ambassadors have said themselves. But off the back of reading the first, the 4 letters that we're going to be releasing across the week, the first one came out on Thursday, which Winston's Wish and I shared on our Instagram channels, and it's just so powerful. It's just reading someone's personal experience that they've never shared before with the world so publicly is hugely brave, and so I hope that they would realise how much courage they have for just hopefully inspiring others to sit down and do the same thing.